So all that you'll need are 2 blocks and yourself. And I want you to grab a block and just bring it underneath your hips and then come into a comfortable seat for me. Once you're sitting in your either cross-legged or sitting on your shins position, just sit up nice and tall, have the collarbone nice and broad. And go ahead and turn the palms to face upward today. Palms facing upward, which gives you a little lift of your chest as well. Draw the belly in, so it's almost like you feel like you're sitting back a little bit. Lifting up through the crown of the head and closing your eyes once you've found that position that feels stable and secure, yet you can relax into it. Relax the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Let the eyelids gently close if you didn't already. And soften that space in between the eyebrows, around the outside corners of your eyes. And just take a moment to check in with yourself today. How is your body feeling? How is your mood? What kind of energy are you sitting with today? Do you feel wide awake and alert, ready to go? Do you feel a little tired, having just woken up perhaps for some of us? Or a busy day, either filled with activities on a Sunday or some of us working? And just take a moment to let go of everything that you're doing before we sat down. Let go of any attachments to what comes later, including what's coming in the class, including what's coming later in the day, which allows you then to arrive into the here and now, the only place that we know we have for sure. And just start to become aware of your breath. So as you inhale, notice the energy working its way into your body through the nose if you can. And then guide that breath down as far as you can towards the belly. And I want you to notice the expansion of the rib cage as the lungs beneath them start to expand. And as you exhale, just notice how everything that expanded starts to draw back towards center and the energy works its way out through the back of the throat, leaving through the nose or mouth again. And then place a hand on the belly button area, lower belly, belly button area. And as you inhale now, notice how far down inside of you can carry that breath. Does the hand move away from the center of your body? And when you exhale, notice if the hand is drawing back towards center. No judgments if it is or isn't, just awareness of it. And next inhale again, drawing that energy down so that you hopefully start to feel the hand moving, which means your diaphragm muscle is working here. And as you exhale, hand comes back to center, ribs come back to center, breath working its way away from the body. And you can keep the hand here or rest it back onto your lap if you like, but we're going to take 3 more rounds of breath with awareness of drawing that energy deep down inside of us, awareness of space arriving into every little available part of the lungs, and awareness of the release of things we no longer need as we breathe out. 2 more breaths like this. Last one. And when that last one is complete, continue to breathe, but just notice for a moment as you pause, thinking about the breath, how do you feel? Notice if the natural breath has slowed you down and slowed down the thoughts, slowed down the heartbeat. And let's see if you can keep this calm, focus rhythm with you through the practice today. Gently opening the eyes up from here, lifting the bottom, releasing the block. And change the cross of the legs. And if you're sitting on your shins, just come to a cross-leg position now. And let's start in the opposite direction to normal. So take your right hand down to the ground. Inhale, left arm up. And as you exhale, lean over. So you're getting straight into a side bend here. So spinal mobility. I'm going to move the spine in 5 different directions today. Sideways, forwards, backwards, twisting, and then lengthening. Come back up through center, taking left hand down, right hand reaches up and over. Notice how it feels between the 2 sides of the body. Sometimes how we sit, how we carry things, how we stand can affect the area of the QL and lower back in terms of balance. One more time in each direction. Right hand down, left hand up and over. Maybe there's a little bit more space already. maybe not. That's okay as well. Come back through center, hand down, lifting up and over. One more breath. And then sit up nice and tall. Take your left arm over the top of right arm. Bend the elbows, wrap the arms around each other, and lift the fingers upward as you reach the elbows away from you. So just notice that separation of the shoulder blades on the back of your upper back. A little bit of spaciousness coming into the muscles that help to stabilize and to move the shoulder blades. These muscles help with good posture as well. And I just want to have a little release in them before we start to work them. One more breath like this. And then just slowly unwind the arms, interlace the fingers behind the back, and lift the chest up. So a little bit of an opening of the sternum, the heart-lung space, a little bit of an opening through the front of the chest. And now we're squeezing the shoulder blades towards each other. So those muscles are engaging in between the shoulder blades now. And then release the hands and take your right arm over the top of your left. Bend the elbows, wrap the arms around each other. Eagle arms again, second side this time. Elbows reach away from center, fingers reach up, and we focus once again on the upper back, releasing. Little rounding of the upper back here, so a little bit of flexion here too. Still lifting up through the crown of the head. Notice how the legs are feeling. Relax the jaw, relax the tongue, relax the eyes, the space around the eyes. One more breath. Nice, and then release the arms. Once again, interlace the fingers behind the back, a little extension of the spine now. Chest lift, squeezing shoulder blades towards each other. And it might feel a little warm, a little tingly around the shoulders and arms now, particularly if you've been sitting down a lot today already or the last days. And then go ahead and release the hands down to the ground, and let's roll ourselves over into tabletop position. Simple cat and cows to begin with, so shoulders above the wrist. Inhale, soften the belly, reach the chest forward, actively draw the shoulders back. Keep the hips above the knees. Exhale, rounding through the spine, pushing the ground away. So now we come into flexion of the spine. Inhale, front body opens, extension of the spine. So we've already moved our spine in 3 different directions. Exhale, rounding through the spine. 3 more rounds like this, nice and simple. And yet so effective for mobilizing the muscles that attach into the pelvic bowl, the thoracolumbar fascia in the lower back. So we're getting into yin and yang tissues. Last round of movement, awareness of space through the front and back of the spine. And the calming rhythm of moving with our breath here. And then you'll come back into neutral for me and keep the right hand down. Inhale, sweep left arm up to the sky, shoulder draws back. And we're going to be a little dynamic with this to begin with. Exhale, reach the arm through and under to the side of the room, resting on left side of the head and shoulder. And then inhale, sweep the arm back up to the sky, shoulder draws back. Exhale, thread the needle, reach it through and under. And then one more time, inhale, arm up to the sky, trying to keep the hips above the knees if we can. This time we'll stay down, so exhale, reach the arm as far through as you can, rest on the head and shoulder, other arm up to the sky, shoulder draws back, bend the elbow and reach it around to anywhere on the left side of your body. It might be the side of the waist, it might be the lower back, it might be the inner thigh. And this is really active, so we're not just hanging out here. I want you to really notice how this feels in the thoracic spine. So this is rotation. This is the 4th direction that the spine is able to move. And it's the lesser mobile part of the spine because it's doing a fantastic job of taking care of our heart and our lungs. Last breath. And then place the right hand to the ground and just push the ground away as you come back to tabletop. Okay, left hand stays on the earth. Inhale, sweeping right arm up and back. And then exhale, thread the needle, reach the arm through as far as you can. Inhale, sweep the arm up to the sky. So we're just mobilizing the tissues a little. And then exhale, thread the needle through, second time. And then last time up, inhale, arm to the sky. And then this time stay down. So reach the arm as far through as you can. Rest on the side of the head and then taking your other arm up to the sky. Shoulders drawing back, bend the elbows. Reach the hand around to the right side of the body now. Gaze is wherever suits your neck. No rules. But really active as you draw left shoulder back. Ribs, chest drawing back. Notice how this side feels compared to the other. We don't want to constantly be comparing, but just becoming aware. Training ourselves almost to be aware. Where do I have balance? Where do I need to create more? And again, always without judgment, just awareness. One more breath. And then go ahead and release the hand to the ground, pushing into the earth as we come back into tabletop. One more little bit of stillness. Keep the hips above the knees. Now walk the fingers forwards, melting heart pose. Chin or forehead down to the ground or a block if you need to. And as you inhale, I want you to breathe energy down towards the belly. As you exhale, melting, releasing, relaxing around the armpits, around the shoulders, the chest. Notice where you feel it. Can you relax your breath? Can you relax your mind? Notice how when you do those two things, you get more space instantly. When we tell ourselves there's reason to be fearful, the body stops giving us access to everything that we can do. It focuses on our vital organs, restricting everything else so that we've got enough energy for survival. Take another breath here. And then go ahead and lift your chest up away from the ground. Walk the hands back to being underneath your shoulders. And then tuck the toes under. Lift the hips up to the sky. First downward dog of the day for some of us. Start to walk the dog. Lifting one heel, bending the same knee, getting a little bit of movement through the legs. Notice how it feels to really reach downward through the heel of the foot, reach back with the thigh. Hands, meanwhile, are pushing the ground away. Hips are lifting up as high as we can. And this is the fifth direction that the spine moves in, axial extension, so lengthening of the spine. And you can practice this when you're standing up tall in mountain pose or just walking through your day. Plank pose is another good opportunity to practice it. Soften the knees. Look forward, hop, step or jump to the top of the mat. And as you arrive, halfway lift, spine long, strengthening the back of the spine. Exhale, forward fold, so spine is in flexion. Bend the knees as much as you need to here. And then vertebrae by vertebrae, draw the belly to the spine. Just roll yourself up slowly to standing. Head is the last thing to come up. And let's practice good posture here. Turn the palms to face forward. Push down through the whole of the foot. Draw the belly in and up. Tailbone is lightly drawing down. Collarbone broad. Crown of the head lifting up to the sky. Chin parallel to the ground. As you push down through the feet, feel the muscles around the legs start to fire up and strengthen here as well. And then as you inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Maybe the gaze follows. Maybe a lift of the heart and a little back bend. Maybe that's too much too soon. You'll see. And then exhale, hands through heart center, hinge from the hips. Step right foot back as the hands touch the ground. Come onto the knee, top of the foot. Fingers reach up to the sky, inhale. Low crescent. So from here, push down through the top of the right foot, bottom of the left foot. And then just draw the belly in and away from that thigh. Imagine you're squeezing the inner thighs in towards each other. And then imagine squeezing the outer hip a little as well. Sink down. And it should feel pretty strong in the legs. Notice the sensation coming through the front of the hip here. And then keep all of that active in the legs. Interlace the fingers behind the back, just like we did before, and lift the heart up. And if you can't reach the hands together, just squeeze an imaginary block between the hands. That will do the same muscular thing that we're trying to go for. Gaze can be up or forward. Awareness of that little opening and lift of the front of the body, and more sensation perhaps through the front of that right hip. Left big toe firm. Take a breath. And then release the hands, right hand to the ground, twist body to left side of the room, left hand up to the sky. So now a spinal twist, shoulder draws back. Reach the left fingers towards the back of the room. Notice how that gives you even more opportunity to twist deeper. Option to pick up the foot and reach around for the hand and foot to connect if you want to. And if you do that, try pushing the foot into the hand. It's going to help you to twist further. Ribs, chest, shoulder, draw back. Right hand pushing the earth away as you come into that nice thoracic twist. One more breath here. Nice, and then release the foot, hand to the top of the mat, tuck the toes, lift the knee, step it back to downward facing dog. Walk the feet in a couple of inches closer to the hands than normal. Weight into the right hand. Left hand comes across to the outside of right shin or thigh, and you're twisting in downward facing dog, so a twisty down dog. Torso reaching over to the right side of the room. Right hand firmly pushing the ground away. Take a breath. And then left hand to the ground. Take right hand across to the outside of left thigh. And on your exhale, twist over to the left now. Shoulders, ribs, chest drawing around. Left hand firm as you push the ground away. Take another breath. And then release right hand to the ground. Come forward into plank pose. Nice and strong through the legs. Heels reaching back. Exhale, chaturanga all the way down to the ground. And then inhale, baby cobra. So the elbows are close to the body. The chest is lifted. Legs are still on the earth. Belly too. And then lower yourself down. We're going to do one more. Inhale, come up to cobra this time. So a little bit higher with the lift of the chest. Elbows still hugging body. And then tuck the toes under, lift up to downward facing dog, lifting right leg. Take the knee across the body, left elbow, rotation of the spine. Inhale, three-legged downward dog. One more time. Exhale, knee across the body, left elbow. And then three-legged downward dog. And then step the foot between the hands, lower left knee down, come onto the top of left foot, inhale, fingers up to the sky. Sink into the hips, lift up with the heart. Notice how that feels to engage inner thigh muscles. Notice how it feels to engage outer hip. Strong through the legs, releasing through the front of that left hip, belly still strong. And we're going to cactus the arms, so bend the elbows, lift up with the sternum, and reach the shoulder blades towards each other. And if this feels awkward, come back to where we were. Interlace fingers, they both do the same thing, just a different variety. One more breath as we sink down, lifting up. Slow down. And then release left hand to the ground. Twist towards the right side of the room with upper body. Right hand to the sky, shoulder draws back. And then option to stay here or pick up left foot, reach around with right hand to take hold of the foot, but push the foot into the hand. So right chest, ribs and shoulders draw back. Slow things down, notice how it feels. Space arriving in. Last breath. And then release the foot, hand to the top of the mat, tuck the toes, lift the knees, step forward into a forward fold. So our chance to release through the back of the body. Big breath as we let the back of the thighs release, hips lift up a little higher, weight comes into the front of the foot, spine is in flexion. And then roll yourself up again, belly to spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, coming up to stand tall. Hands to heart center this time. Push down through the whole of the foot. Inhale, arms rise, chest lifts. Exhale, hinge from the hips forward. Fold briefly, hands to the ground. Left foot back. Keep the knee lifted this time. Inhale, crescent. Sinking down into the hips, reach away with that left heel. So I'm taking liberties a little bit with our rhythm. Sink down. Lift up, so belly in and up. And then slowly keep the spine strong and long. Hands arrive at heart center. As you inhale, grow longer through the spine. As you exhale, twist towards the right side of the room. And then lean forward, hook elbow to outside of the knee. Push them against each other as you draw your torso around to the right side of the mat. Big reaching around with ribs, chest, shoulder. Notice how that feels. Keep strong by pushing away through left heel. And we're going to do a transition in a minute, which if you want to, you can put your knee down or keep the leg lifted if you want a little more strength in it. Inhale, lift up, still facing right side of the room. Reach right hand back, left hand forward. And then flip left palm up, reaching right hand down to find the back of left leg. If you feel wobbly, left knee can come down. Sink into right knee, lean back more. Nice and light through the right fingers. Big, big breath. Nice, and then cartwheel the hands to the top of the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Big lift of the hips, thighs back, hands push the ground away. Travel forward with intention to plank, strong through the body. Hands push the earth away, lift of the upper back a little, heels reaching back. Chaturanga, exhale. all the way down. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Lift the chest, lift the legs this time. Okay, so we're strengthening the back of the body, getting a little bit more space through the front of the chest. Gaze is just down. Tuck the toes under. Hands next to the chest. Lift up to plank. Downward facing dog. And once you get there, inhale, left leg rising. Exhale, knee across the body. Right elbow, so we're twisting. Inhale, three-legged downward dog. One more time, knee across the body, exhale. Twisting to right elbow. Inhale, three-legged downward dog. Exhale, step the foot between the hands. Stay on the ball of the right foot. Inhale, rise up tall, high crescent. Sink into the hips. Draw away through the right heel, slowly coming down. Belly in and up. Gaze forward. Feet strong as we draw the hands down to meet together at heart center. Inhale, lift up with the spine. Exhale, twist to the left side of the room. So torso reaches over to the left as well. And then lean forward. Hook right elbow to outside of left knee and use the lifting motion, that twisting motion to really get a bit more space. Ribs, chest, shoulder, draw back. Firm hands, strong arm, belly drawn in. So we're not resting on the thigh. It's pretty active. Remember, there's an option to put the knee down here if you want to. Inhale, lift up, still facing left side of the room. Strong legs. Right hand forward, left hand back. Flip right palm, up and back. Left hand reaching down through the back of the leg. Sinking into the hips, left big toes strong. Reach back more if you wish. One more breath. And then lower the hands slowly to the ground. And we're going to step right foot forward, forward fold. Big breath. Inhale, halfway lift. So we're adding this one in. Come up a little bit higher than you would normally. Place the hands at heart center. So your torso is parallel to the ground or up a bit. Little bit of strength in the back of the legs, always good. And then exhale, forward fold. Roll yourself up nice and slowly, standing tall, belly to spine. Bring those hands to heart center. Push down through the feet. Inhale this time again, lift up, little back bend. And then slow motion, hands through heart center, hinge from the hips to the ground. With the hands, step it back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga, all the way to the earth. Inhale, bend the knees, reach the hands around. See if you can take hold of the feet and ankles, lifting up into bow pose. Imagine squeezing inner thighs towards each other. Strong lift of the heart, strong upper back. Big breath. Nice, and then lower down, release the feet, tuck the toes under. Lift up to plank, downward facing dog. Notice how this down dog feels compared to the very first one. Thighs reach back, hips high, hands push the earth away. This lengthening of the spine. Big breath here. And then look to the middle of the mat. Step the feet to the middle of the mat. Bend the knees more. Lower the bottom to the ground. Turn to face the long end of your mat. Take your right leg out nice and straight. And then bend your left knee so the foot meets the inner thigh. Toes point back towards you on the right foot. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, sliding right arm down towards the foot. And then reaching left arm up and over. Also an option to just keep it on the lower waist, drawing the shoulder back instead. Choice is yours. Some of you might bend the elbow and have the hand on the side of the head. Janu Sirsasana, beautiful opportunity to open up through the side waist, through the lower back, through the side of the ribs, chest, armpit, shoulder. Head heavy, neck relaxed, so there's no real effort or tension lingering there. Notice how space arrives in. Slow things down. And then slow motion, bring yourself back up to a seat, so upright. And without the hands, if you can help it, change those legs over. Okay, left leg extending away now. Toes point back towards you, right knee bent. Sit tall as you inhale, sliding the hand down the leg towards the toes. And then right hand is either reaching up and over, hand on the back of the head or hand behind the lower back as you need. And just explore how that feels to get into side body here. Slow things down. Tongue nice and relaxed. Last breath here. Inhale guides us back up to upright. And now bend both knees. Bring the soles of the feet together. Bringing the spine into flexion in a moment. Interlace the fingers around the toes. Sit tall as we inhale. And then on the exhale, leaning forward. Gaze down. Noticing the release through the inner thigh. Noticing the release in the lower back. Noticing the curve through the spine here. Collarbone stays broad if we can. 3 big breaths, awakening through the groin. Opportunity to relax the jaw, the neck, the tongue. Breath slows down, every breath a little closer to Shavasana. Last one here. Releasing the feet and just rolling ourselves up vertebrae by vertebrae. Hands come under the knees, guiding the knees together, and just making your way now to face the thin end of your mat. Going to lie yourself down onto your back. Draw the knees into the chest. Arms out wide on the left side, and right hand is helping the knees across the body to the right side. Upper body stays connected to the earth. 3 breaths in each direction, just noticing how this feels through the outside line of your body. And when the 3rd breath is finished, you'll keep the belly drawn into the spine, carry those legs back through center, and then gently lower them over to the left side with the help of left hand, right arm over to the right. Notice how it feels through the outside line of the body. 3 breaths here also. When the 3rd breath for you is complete, just guide the legs back into center, give them a little hug. And then releasing the legs down to the ground as you come into Shavasana. Some of you might prefer to take Shavasana seated, and some of you will like to lie down. So choose how you feel best. Feet naturally rolling outward or inward as they do. Arms wherever you need them. Letting the whole of the back line of the body just melt down towards the ground. And taking this opportunity here just to relax, just to be still. Just bringing a little awareness back into the body as you wiggle the fingers and the toes. Arms reaching up overhead, a full body stretch, those of you lying down. Enjoying the knees in towards the chest, a little massage of the spine as you roll from side to side. Eventually landing on whichever side of your body feels best for you. Keeping your eyes closed, using your hands to gently lift yourself up to a comfortable seat. And let's just notice how we feel in this moment compared to earlier moments. And let's bring the hands together at heart center as we bow our head to our hands in gratitude for the practice, in gratitude for our health. Guiding this feeling of calming down, slowing down, awakening ourselves into the rest of our day. Namaste.